We got 3 top 10s in it, so just got to do that one more time at Charlotte, and then we'll go back to being comfortable at the racetracks that we like going to. And everybody on Shell Pennzoil Chevy's doing a great job, and they know coming in that my mindset, I've tried to be more focused and more positive on these types of racetracks, knowing that our cars are better, that we're going to have better days. So all in all, it's worked so far.
Kevin, we're 12 races in, 12 weeks in. You've extended your points lead a little bit. So knowing that these aren't your best racetracks, does that help? A day like today where you do finish in the top 10, which almost feels like a win.
Yeah, it does feel like a win. I mean, we ran up front for, most of the day. Got up as high as 3rd there just racing. And for us, it's just one of those things where we have to keep doing what we're doing. And every week that you run good somewhere that you don't think you should, you gain a little confidence.
Kevin, heading to the All-Star race and then to the 600, is there anything in particular that you, this race team, have done to improve your chances there?
I think our cars are just way faster. We got to get a little bit better on pit road, and obviously you still want to continue working on your setups and things that you need to do to go forward to make your cars faster and better. But our cars are just a 180 from where they were last year, and it just makes my job a lot easier, and you can adjust on them on pit road and do the things you need to do to be competitive.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. And Kevin with a 69-point lead over Kyle Busch. So Kyle moves up into 2nd. That's his highest points position so far this season. Jimmy Johnson slips down to 4th, followed by Hamlin and Gordon. And you see that Martin Truex moves into the 12th spot. This is the Chase 12. Dale Earnhardt Jr. falls out.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, we're going to see this battle, this ebb and flow. We see Tony Stewart, he moved up a little bit closer. You've already talked about Martin Truex Jr. jumping into the top 12. But what I'm seeing here with a lot of this battle going on for the 12th position, I'm looking at the top. Kevin Harvick continues to put good numbers up and put points on the board. What it might allow him to do is start going after wins now, not worry so much about points. I think wins are the things that they need to work on.
And wins for Kyle Busch, 2 of the last 3 races, the largest margin of victory this year. 7.5 seconds over Jeff Burton. We'll hear from Jeff Burton and also from Denny Hamlin when we continue live from Dover, Delaware, where Kyle Busch is your winner on Fox. Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, and finishing up our post-race coverage here in Dover, Delaware. And Kyle Busch, who led 131 laps, pulls into victory lane, but the race dominated by Jimmy Johnson, who led more than 200 laps. And the unofficial results as we check Jeff Burton, his best finish of the season, winding up 2nd. Denny Hamlin, 11th or better now in his last 5 races. David Rudiman tied for his best finish this season. Joey Logano, remember he had the flip here last year, so a nice top 10 for him, part of that Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, you see Jeff Gordon there. He wound up 11th in our pole setter. Martin Truex Jr., he came home 12th.
Jimmy Johnson finishing a lap down, that miscue, speeding, exceeding pit road. Guys like Casey Mears in for Brian Vickers. And again, we send our best out of the hospital after discovering that blood clot. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went down in a hurry with some steering problems, but didn't look like he had a car that was going to contend.
No, but he didn't have a car that contend, but they did get him out and able to get a finish there. Jamie McMurray, who had a pretty strong car. Early in the race, he had rear end problems as far as the track bar, and he wound up 32nd, 46 laps down.
Jeff Burton is standing by with our Chris Devoto.
Well, contending once again, Jeff Burton. I got to know, how much were you hoping, though, for that caution to come out to close that gap on you and the 18 in those closing laps?
The way things are going for us late in the race, I don't know if I wanted a caution or not. I was, the track is so rubbered up that if you ever got out of the groove, you just, all but wrecked. It was just crazy how much rubber's on the track and made it really hard to pass. And he was better than where we were there at the end, so I was probably just wanting the race to get over.
But you guys have been asking for execution over the last few races. Do you feel like you guys did execute today?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we got everything we could today. There was one run there. We had a really fast car. We were faster than everybody. And then, but for the majority of the race, the 48 was better than us. And then the 18 got dialed in there late in the race. So we weren't quite as good as those guys. With a little luck, we could have won. But we probably got a little more than we deserved. But we were 2nd to 4th, 5th is I thought what we should have gotten. We got 2nd. So we're on the good side of it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, David Rudiman, you ran in the 5th position for much of the tail end of the race. How much fun was it to have that happen this afternoon at Dover?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we haven't had a whole lot to smile about all year. It's been pretty dismal. We've been running really well. Just we haven't been able to close the deal. But I had a great Aaron's Dream Machine all day. Guys had great pit stops. And there at the end, we were just a little bit too tight, and that was the tightest we'd been all day at the end. And but all in all, having a 5th place finish with the way our season's been going, man, it feels really good.
Of course, you had a 5th place finish at Daytona. And just looking at you, you look as if you drove about 50 feet instead of 400 miles. Are you tired and just putting on a good act?
No, I mean, I actually feel pretty good, and that all I can only attribute that to the guys who, you know, making the car ventilate real well and get me some air in there, because usually a lot of times you got to pour me out of one of these things. So I feel pretty good, and we'll go on to the next one, see if we can have another top 5.
Good job today. Congratulations, David. Thank you.
Well, Denny Hamlin started 14th, finished 4th, but I know why you didn't win. This race was on a Sunday.
I'm willing to take my chances on Sunday races, but it's a great overall day for our FedEx team. You know, this is our worst racetrack by far, and if we can come out of here with a top 5, that's a step forward in what we need to do to win the championship. So, you know, this was all about working on a setup for the chase, and you know, I feel like we're halfway there. We're not quite there yet.
You may have just answered my question then. Is this more like a win because you're looking ahead to the fall, and to come to one of your worst tracks and come away with the top 5, does that bode well for championship hopes?
I hope so. I hope that's what it means. But you know, we're a little off at the beginning, but we were in the teens. We weren't in the 30s like we usually are, and we just kept working at it and getting better and better. Me as a driver, I've got to get better at working traffic. I just lose so much time around other cars, and you know, so as much as we got to get the car better, I need to get better myself.
Well, he matches his career best at this racetrack, 4th.
Well, Matt Kenseth just getting congratulations from crew chief Todd Parrott. How important were the calls he made during the race? The 2-tire call and then stay out.
Yeah, it ended up being real important. I mean, our car was in mid-pack. We're about a mid-pack car. In the front, we're about a, you know, top 5 car or something like that. So that worked out really good. That 2 tires really got us our position. We lost a couple spots and then, you know, hung on 7 or 8 spots farther than we were running before, you know, previous to that call. So they did a great job on pit road, great job in the pits. Made great adjustments. That's the best we were, was that second to last run. It wasn't good enough to win, but it was the best we were, and looked like we were going to finish 3rd or 4th. So it was a good day for us.
Just listening to the 2 of you guys during the course of the race, it sounded as if you were on exactly the same page with every pit stop.
Yeah, I'd say it went pretty smooth. We, you know, we started off a little bit, I thought, and we were able to adjust it and make it the best it was at the end of the day, and that's important. You have to take what you have and make the very best out of it you can for the end of the day. And there's been a couple weeks we haven't been able to do that, get, you know, the right set tires on at the end or the right adjustment or what have you. We're here, he made all the right calls, we made all the right adjustments in the pits to get the car as good as it was for that last run.
And Matt Kenseth did all the right stuff behind the wheel to finish 3rd this afternoon. Congratulations.
Nice. Thanks, Dick. And, of course, Miles the Monster. You know, 2 guys took it to the Monster today, and Kyle Busch and certainly in Jimmy Johnson. But the Fords, 3 Fords finishing in the top 8. Greg Biffle had his best finish in the last 7 races. But I want to go back to Kyle Busch. When we documented in the race that there was a failure to communicate in the sense.
We have that every night.
Right. But with his crew, and there wasn't the panic. And we saw that the week before. He seemed to handle it with professionalism, stay calm and in control. And it certainly paid off for a guy who worked his way back to the front and won the race.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that he was already thinking about what they could do to make sure they didn't mess up on the pit stop. Hey, have NASCAR black flag me when it's time to come to pit road. And NASCAR would have probably done that for him to try to help him out. We're taking a look at our winner there, Kyle Busch. But the other thing that impressed me when he was talking to Matt Yoakum was he knew about the awareness of where he was on the racetrack in conjunction with how many laps in the race, like 250, 260. We made this adjustment, and the car did this. He really, I think, is aware of his surroundings and what's going on and what they're doing in this race car. He's pretty savvy when it comes to being behind this wheel and being the kind of field general you'd like to have.
Yeah, racing more than 800 miles in one weekend, you get plenty of experience in getting the 2 wins there. So 2 weeks from Sunday, we'll be at the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
In honor of all of our men and women overseas fighting for our freedom, 600 miles, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. I love this American. Let's go racing on Memorial Day, boys.
The Coca-Cola 600.